Good morning. Good morning. How do we? Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I saw Siga up but I don't know. That thing it's got a 138 million something dollar whatever, but it's pretty much the only thing that I've seen that stuck out, but it's a higher float now too. I think it's let me look at what that float increased to. Because it was a super low float at one point when they were doing monkeypox. Float up to 39 million. Yeah, it was definitely lower than that. So 39.12 million in the float. Other than that, just watching oil continue to go up. TUP, we saw that thing grind yesterday, so I'm thinking it's going to grind even slower today. Even if it does continue upward, I'm thinking it's still going to give some grind action. Let's look at TMF. No news. Palantir, FIXX. Got a downgrade. No real news there. Sucks. Okay. So pretty much we got things up about 20%. Looks like the most that's getting volume. We'll see if anything else pops into my low flow scanner and my gainers and my untouchables here in a second when the market opens. But yeah, pretty simple pre-market. I think out of the open, I'm gonna be watching TUP just to watch it fall. And I want to see the new thing, the next thing come on in. It may be SIGA, it may be SIGA. Even though it's got 4 million shares right now, it has been a previous mover. And with people knowing that name, with people remembering that name, how much more confidence will they have to jump into it? So I would definitely keep an eye on SIGA. Looking at SIGA on the hour chart here, we can see that it had a nice little move up from 507 right out of here all the way up here to this right around the 625s. And then up here to the 675s looks like. Okay. And it's making its way down right now, but I mean, it's the best looking one to me on the morning, not just because it's got the a high percent gain, but it's one that's memorable. It's one that people be like, "Wait, I seen Siga before. What's that gonna do?" And so, they end up getting in. Let's look on a daily chart for Siga. So yeah, Siga ran up to 20 something dollars. Hit a bottom down here of, was that the low? Not really. Kind of settled at this point, 525s around this consolidation. Can extend this back a little bit, extend to the left and extend to the left and see where these points of consolidation. So these points of consolidation are right within previous levels of consolidation in the past years. It came below a previous level of consolidation. We're trying to see, is it going to hold up maybe 6? I don't know. But it does have a high point up here of 685. It's only 40 cents away from the 685, or actually $7. I mean, it's close enough. We can say $7. But just kind of see how it holds this previous range here of the 625s. If it bounces down to 625s, I may give it a little bit of a play. Looking at 625 there. But we'll see. Only 4 million shares traded right now, and it's got 30 minutes to trade. So, good morning, Lori. What you think about SIGA? SIGA shares, SIGA trading higher, 138 million U.S. government contract for oral and IV TPOXX treatment. Now, I think the other thing that we have to do is, what is TPOXX? What was TPOXX again? I forget. TPOXX, it's a let's see. How many people does TPOXX affect? TPOXX, TPOXX effect. 6.8, yeah. But if this becomes 6.9, yeah. If it becomes the only thing moving, though, it may get going. If you look out here on the daily chart, the 200 moving average is right here at 680. So that 680 is like the first little point. I hope it goes down before it goes up. I would much rather see it go down a little bit first. UFAB, let's look at that. UFAB, let's see, it's up 74%. 24 million shares traded on it. What's the news on UFAB? UFAB. Investors await inflation gauges. No real news that I'm seeing right there.
UFAB has history of big rips at open, then dumps with no news.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, look at those wicks right there. Yeah, but is it going to be able to give you as good of a move as SIGA, though? That's the question. Also, IFBD popping up here as well. IFBD, 27% up, 3 million shares, and this is a low float. So I'll put that IFBD on the list. It's only $1.07 right now. Okay.
If sponsored many YouTubers to make video about it. Careful.
IFBD is a sponsored one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it here to take our monies? Threw a wick up here on the hour chart up to the 118s. No real news on the day. Let's look at the daily chart and see what kind of setup this thing has. We look at IFBD, hit at 245 at one point and is right up here at the 105s right now. So this little top here, 108s. It traded within this previous gap, gap down for a little bit. So I'm wondering, I don't know. We'll have to see. That one's got to get fed some volume, but it is a top mover, up 27%. But still, I'm wondering, will it be able to outperform SIGA's range in volume? Because they're all kind of close right now. Let's see. So UFAB, you're expecting it to break over maybe the 43s quickly and then fail like it has in the past. And then T up, that was a grinder from yesterday. I think that was pretty much gonna need to do some consolidation over the next week. It's just had so much of a run, so much of a grind up. People are tired of just watching that thing. Okay, SIGA is coming down to the point where I was looking at possibly the 625s to hold on SIGA. So 625s. Let me jump over here. So 625, 619, right in this level. I wanted to see what SIGA was going to do.
Hi SB.
IFBD right on back down towards $1. Getting a heavy push down there on the 15-minute.
Donald. W.
W, let's see, what is W? What is W? So, I don't even know if he meant to put W in there as a ticker. Let's see what W is. Wayfair.com. Sold off. BJDX. That was a mover from earlier this week. BJDX. On no news, of course. So let's flip that up there. Up 60%. Very low volume on this one. So let's look at UFAB, TU, SQQ, TQQ, SIGA, IFBD, SOLX, INO. So FEMI was one that was ripping yesterday. Apparently this company is working on a permanent birth control. I don't know. It's like they're adding to a everlasting, eternal list of ways to turn men into or turn women into men. I don't know. But yeah, a permanent birth control on FEMI yesterday. It was ripping a lot.
Typo.
Let me go ahead and flip that one in though. For BJ DX. All right, so that one's up 50%. It's got a lot of competition on the board. We'll see if it outperforms anybody or if it wants to just give back gains. Actually, let's look at the daily chart on this one to see if it does give back gains. BJ DX. Looking over here on TOS, it closed yesterday at the 535s and popped all the way back up here to the 820s. So right around here where it has found a lot of resistance, right? We can see the big top and wicks on the daily chart coming in. Let's stretch this out. Let's extend this to the left. We can see that this was a previous bottom back here that was touched. Was previous support. Is this previous support at 875 becoming resistance? Is the question on the day. But definitely an interesting one as well. Coming on up, we'll see if it can get 1,000,000 shares traded and, be a contender on the day. IFBD, SIGA still doing his thing. Did not quite get down to that 625. $15 into the bell. UFAB kind of going sideways here under this previous resistance at the 43 cents. TUP also up there doing his thing. It's getting smaller and smaller candles coming into the open on TUP. SQQQ had a gap down, and that means TQQ probably had a gap up. Inversers. SIGA. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in SIGA to see what it's going to do. I might play it small so I don't get cooked on SIGA. But my bias could change on the open once we see what these things want to do. They may just, a lot of these are extended plays anyway. A lot of these have been moving up. So what is gravity going to do on the day? IFBD getting another push down towards $1, up 22%. BJDX back down to 46% from 60%, losing 20% there. Previous consolidation down here at the 695s, but definitely needs some more volume. BJDX finally hitting that million share sweet spot. So it should be hitting some scans, and we'll see what kind of reaction it gets. Can it compete with some of these higher movers? 10 minutes, SQQ. Let's go ahead and flip over some news, yo. Okay. So Fed's preferred inflation measure cools to the lowest level in 2 years. Nice. P&G CEO has a promising inflation outlook. What happens after stocks soar through July? T-Mobile CEO, we can keep beating and raising goals. Sure. Jeff Bezos is paying $600,000 a month in rent to this famous musician. What? Okay. Oh, that's his rent, huh? That house better have every amenity possibly known to man. Here's what the Feds likely are going to do for the rest of the year. Don't care. That was 16 hours ago. Will you have to pay taxes on my Social Security income? Let's go to some latest news. Qatar to provide Ukraine with 100 million in humanitarian aid. Fukushima plant official says the coming release of treated water, a milestone for decommissioning. European credit hedge funds. Where's that hot news? Well, the hot news usually drops on Monday. That's probably why it's kind of like blah. Surprising reason, the tech stock rally may have room to run. Bank of Japan. Okay, let's go to world news. Fire breaks out on the ship. Why July is the world's hottest month in 61 seconds. All right. I want to go to world news. Satellite ready to fall to Earth. One of the most challenging space missions launched in Europe is about to come out of the sky. Why would your satellite be falling? What's going on? Climate plan will leave UK unprepared, say advisors. Earth in uncharted waters as climate records tumble. I mean, it definitely has gotten warmer. I think everybody can agree on that. Even the ones that don't believe in global warming or anything like that. It's definitely, cooking a little bit more. The good thing is I don't think humidity can go past 100%. So in Mississippi, we're always sitting at 100%, just about. A lot of people, they be like, oh yeah, the humidity is bad, but they don't understand what humidity is. It's just literally the amount of water that the atmosphere or the environment can hold in the air. So, at 100%, nothing's evaporating. It just gets hot. One of the downsides of that is like if you have a puddle on the ground and the puddle just stays there, mosquitoes love puddles of water. And so you see a huge increase of mosquitoes. So, I don't know. But these past couple of days, the humidity has dropped. I think it dropped to like half one of these days. It was like 46%, which allowed for, some things to dry up. I was able to go outside and actually burn something. I had cut down some trees and they just stayed wet. They just was wet. A connectivity, Branson, painful media. All right, let's jump back over. We got about 5 minutes to the bell. We pretty much have our opening watch list: UFAB, TUP, SIGA. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the. Well, I could keep them up. I'm not gonna really watch these. TQQ, SQQ, not really too interested. IFBD, stocks, not that interesting. Not a huge gainer. NIO had a little gap up, but not something that's super like something I would just want to be watching. So we'll see what comes of these stocks. BJDX getting on down there. Still though, I'm more interested in SIGA. Just need some volume, man.
Donald. Sitting on my hands, don't like anything.
To be honest, I'm thinking about SIGA now and how it bottomed out and everything, and I'm wondering, does SIGA need more time? Because today, yes, it popped, but it popped for these buyers that were down here at 510. Do I want to be caught in a sell-off from these buyers saying, oh man, that was a great move. I want my profit now on a Friday. That's another thing I got to watch out for. And kind of make sure I keep up with any new things that's popping up and are actually outperforming these stocks here. UFAB pumping towards the top like Lori said it would. We'll see what that ends up doing. 26 million on the board. 43 is the high. Remember that all this trading and stuff is risky. You know, anytime that you press the buy button or you short something, it is completely on you. Definitely do so with some type of understanding of the market, whether it's in a simulator or in live. If it's going to be live and you don't know anything about the market, definitely size down so you don't blow up something. And take notes of your trading. You know, hey, that was a good call. That worked out for me. Why did that work out for me? Figure out why that is, and then size up. Like, oh, that worked out for me. Why is that? You know, is it a pattern that can be repeated? Is it a pattern that can be identified, easily identified again? But yeah. All right. Market is about to open here. About 30 seconds. BJDX continuing down. 35% with very low volume. I wouldn't touch that one until it has to show some volume. We look for volume and range. It's got range, it's diving, but volume though, is it going to be able to be bought back up with that kind of motion? All right, market's just open. Watching UFAB out of the open and T up, looking like it's going red already. Everything's showing some red. There is SIGA down to the 6. Will it get that 625 touch? Looking out here on the daily chart of TOS, this is the level that I was looking at for it to bounce on, this 625-ish around there. But I'm not going to take any trades on it out of the first minute, so I'm going to give it some time to play if it wants to just dump through that 625. It is red on the day right now. BJDX halted into upward motion, still on low volume. Ripped from the 733s up here to the 807s.
Donald. BJDX, up halt.
So there's SIGA going on down. Looking like it's re-entering this level. This is a couple of times that it's failed this level, and we can see clearly the failures of this level. So very, very would be a nice move down if it was up a little bit more, but it's only up 23%. So if it falls through and it goes under 20, people are gonna be like, I don't know. I don't know. Seeing red across the board here. Can it hold up green? SIGA popping back up there right there. Didn't, what was the low of this? Low was 626. Didn't quite get that 625. UFAB getting a little poppy. SIGA trying to hold up that 625 level, trying to hold up. If we look on TOS, we can see the 200 moving averages up here at the 679. Held up this previous level and getting on up there a little bit on SIGA. So held a little bit, but this is only the beginning of the day, so we'll see. Only up 3% since the open. Has a top up here of the 676. 5 million shares traded on it. So it's up 30%. See if we can find anything outperforming. I want to see what time is BJDX opening back up. Halts. BJDX 9:30:45. So it should be 35:45. Will be coming up here in just a little bit on BJDX unhalting. All right, Siga taking a little pullback down, finding a little bit of resistance. Don't want to miss out on BJDX though, coming out of this halt. 35.45 is when it should open up. 45 seconds left if it's a 5-minute halt. UFAB getting up there to that top as well. Quick pop, 34 million shares traded, up 90 something percent. BJDX coming out though. Ten seconds. And there's the open. There's the open right there. Pushing up there heavy. Wow. Okay, that's a really heavy push into another halt, looks like. See if it halts. So right around 2 million, almost 2 million shares traded. BJDX right up and out of there. Siga still playing around in this range. T up going down. Anybody new popping in? Not seeing anybody new yet. TMF. All right. So what can stay green on the day is the question now. We got a couple of them that are strong and are kind of battling it out. UFAB up 12% since the open, SIGA up 2%, and BJDX halted up 25%. T up continuing to push down. So now not even up 10%. I'll go ahead and remove that one. Can we get anything holding over 10%? UFAB looking like it's hitting some limit orders, some hidden limit orders to sell on this one. Trying to go short. We'll see if it continues to live above the 43s. IFBD continuing down as well. All right, let's see. BJDX halted at the 36.10. Should be opening up at the 41.10. Like 3 minutes left. I want to see what happens if SIGA retests this 625 here on the day. Or will it come back down at all? Getting a little bit of a push there. Up 5% now. And also UFAB pushing up as well. If we look over here on the daily chart for SIGA, we can see it's getting closer to that 200 moving average, which is probably going to cause more shorts to get owned than not, unless it just pushes right through that 200 moving average. So I don't know if it comes back down. It's just I don't even know if it's going to be worth the buy at this point. But it does continue to go higher. Almost 10 million shares traded on it, and getting back down under the 650s. And for the most part, what I'm looking to trade, most of my trades happen on things that are above. When I look at volume, I'm looking for something with a lot of volume. 10 million is like a baseline. Hey, at least get 10 million. 10 million is like excitement, emotion, all of that's in that 10 million. This one snapping back down almost to 10 million, but we're seeing its true colors now as people are trapped in. So coming back down to the 625, and at this point, definitely not a buy at 625. Looking like it's going to re-enter this level here. So at least give me 10 million. Show me there's somebody trapped in there. I don't want to be the only one in the barrel. All right, UFAB up 122%. It is holding up 48 million. So if this is going to be the top performing stock on the day, UFAB with no real news. Like Lori said, a lot of times this one comes up and then it just flat out fails. So we'll see if that pattern continues. I mean, it has no reasoning to hold, but we'll see where, if people can play it pretty smart. But it is okay. And BJDX opened up as well. Only 2 million shares traded on it. And I don't know, people may drift over to UFAB instead of BJDX. We'll see. This is what my scans are looking at like right now on low floats. The only thing in there is BJDX, SIGA, SA. Yeah, that's the thing with some of these. If you don't give them time, you can definitely, especially with something like SIGA, it's more like people remembering SIGA, being like, oh, that was during the monkeypox. How did that go? It had a lot of flushes during that time because monkeypox was in and out. People were like, oh, do we need that? Blah, 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 whatever. Is there going to be a new epidemic? And now this news that it has is on T-pox. So not even a monkeypox. So we'll see, man. That thing barely holding up. BJDX. Where would it be pulling back to? I don't know, but it's had a couple of times where it's got up like this and left a big wick up there. This will be multiple times testing this 975-ish level. Somewhere up in here. IFBD. Why are you up here? Getting a lot of pop in, not a lot of volume. It's up 23%. VWAP on SIGA is currently at the 650s. See if it can push away from the 650s and really test this previous consolidation. Can it just flood through this previous consolidation back through the sixes? And that will be a definite sign that people are taking their profit off the table on Friday. Here's UFAB getting right back down. Like I said, man, this is didn't really go far, but definitely could have trapped a lot of people in this almost 6 cent move there. Looking like there's a size, well, where are the abnormal sizes? Okay, like this one, 151,000 shares sitting at the 49 position. That's a big size on the books. Doesn't mean it's actually real, but for it to be sitting out there that blatantly, somebody's using that as either a point to go higher or a big sell. Because that is a big number to just be sitting out there, 151,000. It is very abnormal when you look at all these other sizes. So let me put that up there at the 49 for possible resistance. SIGA looking like it wants to dump. There is the actual test of 625, but that test is taking it, looking like it's going to be taking a lot of its percent gain. How much percent gain is it going to give back? Well, I don't know, but I do know people are taking profit here. Testing to this previous level, looking real weak. BJDX just holding there. So what else is moving? Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna bring over the top 10 movers. We got Ford up here. We got PLTR. We got Intel. I think that's Intel. INTC. We got NIO. We have Tesla. And we have SOXS and XOXL. So looking at this now, inserting these that are also moving, are these in competition? Like BJDX, where is it in the competition? Bottom of the competition. IFBD, bottom of the competition, hadn't even hit 10 million yet. So yeah, a lot of push down, a lot of pushback on these tickers. Waiting to see that retest of that 49 up here. Let me see, where was that 49? Because there was a big level there, if it can even get back up there on UFAB. Still up 19%. It's looking like the biggest gainer on the day, holding its gains. Where in the world? SIGA giving up the ghost, baby. Down to 6 and going red on the day. So multiple factors giving it a very bearish signals. So almost to the 6. This is the whole dollar resistance level that it's approaching. Wonder, will this whole dollar give a little bit of a bounce? Let's look back at the daily chart. Is this whole dollar bounce even worth it? The question. Looking at TOS, we can see that it's definitely flooded back within this consolidation. There was a couple of points that it has failed, and then the rest of the points that it's touched is like down here at the 575s. Couple of touch points down here. So not that far off of 575 there. Okay. UFAB. Let's see if those numbers moved on down. That big number. Let's see. It's still 153,000 at the 49s. And it looks like there's another size building at the 48. So they're kind of moving down. And the 47s. They're just kind of moving down on it. Let's look on the bids. Any kind of unusual size over here? Nope. Not sitting out there in the books. SIGA under 6 now. So just blasting down through there under 6. Losing its percent gain on the day, going 17%. Not very impressive at all, especially with BJDX still up here with 66%. Only 4 million shares, but it is outperforming everything else on the day with low volume.
Donald. BJDX, scalp 8.60, exit 8.91.
Nice. Nice little 36 scalp. Looking for any new ones to pop in. SIGA. So yeah, my scans right now are pretty much sitting the same. There's only one thing on each of these. Untouchables is pretty much anything under $1. I really don't touch them, but I like to see them. So, you know, I have it where it's looking for low floats under $1. If they get to a certain percentage or whatever, then I see them. And I don't like anything to be overcrowded. So, I mean, it just points out the obvious, right? That's what we're looking for. Don't really need to be looking through 30 tickers that don't meet my criteria. SIGA continued to pump on down under the 6, almost to the bottom of these ranges. What, 575 was the point that I was talking about that had the multiple touches down here on TOS. And it is continually pushing on down to that 5 something level, 575 level. And what, only up 16% on the day now, giving back a whole lot. BJDX kind of still holding up its little ranges here. It is under VWAP. VWAP is at 883 right now.
Reliable Rudy. Just getting home, what's the move?
Man, we're seeing, so we saw SIGA. I know you remember SIGA. The monkeypox, it was moving like during COVID and all of that.
Reliable Rudy. I'm taking this 39.50 break on AI.
AI. Let's see where AI is. 39.50 break on AI. It has formed higher lows. Had a previous low here at the 37.40, which it held a couple of times around here. And now you're looking for the breakout out of this. Now, this is the thing. like with Reliable Rudy, he's looking at a wider time frame, especially for these daily chart moves, especially the ones that he's going to be holding for a little bit. He's looking for an actual dip. You know, sometimes during the I guess each trader's dip is different, because this right here is a clear dip that you can see on the daily chart or even the hour chart. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can see it on both. Let me go over to the daily chart here on TOS. This is a clear dip. See it trading in this range. He's pretty much playing this range here. 37 above $37, looking for this break of 30.50 back up to the upside, right? So he's got a little range here to play, and he's buying the bottom of this range, looking for it to get back over the halfway point, which is right around $40, right? So it gets over the 39.50, gets 50 cents, and holds the $40. That's the kind of play he's looking for. So I can definitely see the logic behind that, seeing it hold this range. And we'll see what it does. You know, AI has definitely been hot. So definitely well off of the 200 moving average. Definitely bullish. BJDX giving back the ghost a little bit. Big topping tail there. Let's look back up here. UFAB also coming on down. IFBD though.
Reliable Rudy. Got one fill.
Nice. IFBD continues to push up here, finding a little bit more volume. Almost 10 million shares traded there. Here's my current scans. IFBD popping on in there right above BJDX. More volume. Not as low float, but still in there. Let's go look at IFBD. What was the... Whoa. I just looked back and this thing pulling back 20, 30 cents. IFBD, what did they do? Let's see, IFBD. I know Lori said YouTubers got paid to boost it up a little bit. Infobird to expand global presence with relocation of operations to Hong Kong. So this is a Chinese stock. Infobird regains compliance. So they just regained compliance 2 months ago. They did announces a 1-for-5 share consolidation. Is that a reverse split or just a consolidation? Trading AI powered of its ordinary shares. So that doesn't say reverse split though. Just consolidation. I don't know. Never seen that wording there. Infobird, whatever. They're having some major pullbacks though in this one. Look at this. Pull back from 124 all the way back into the ones. That's kind of sketchy right there. Okay, SIGA still under the 6s. And almost has closed up the first 30 minutes of trading here. Grinding lower, only up 15% now. So SIGA is definitely on the outskirts for today. Let's look and see. I also see one called MRSN. What is this one doing? Doesn't Therapeutics downgraded to hold by Truist? What is MRSN? MRSN. Oh, wow. Yeah, it had quite a bit of a fall down and is retesting these highs of the 118. Cheaper stock for sure. Definitely, I think a higher float as well. Statistics, float of 87.79 million. Oh, wow. That's a lot of institutions holding this one. Institutions 99.55%. So you will definitely be playing against some real algos in that one. Only up 11%. SIGA continued to pump down. And this is what was scaring me from the movement yesterday. It wasn't like this thing caught a nice little trend upward into pre-market. This thing was just here and boom. So I was like, okay, how many people in SIGA that bought at $5 are like, man, I got $1 in profit. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I really need to take some off the table. And now we're seeing them take it off, and new buyers just not being willing to come in at all. They're like, yeah, we're good. We're good.
Drift R. At Donald clapping hands sign clapping hands sign clapping hands sign.
Clapping hand sign. MRSN. Let's see. All right, UFAB retesting these highs here. Still up 120%, outperforming pretty much everything else on the day when it comes to volume. 70 million shares traded. It is definitely enveloping everything else. I have been continually adding to my INDO position, looking for oil to continue higher over the 80s. But I'm taking my time just building a small position. BMR is still in the green as well. It just, I'm just waiting. Just waiting, letting it play. Let's see. UFAB again with the tap of the high. Now, the area that I said that needed to break was at 49. So that 49, where is
Donald.
all those shares?
Thanks, Drift R.
There's the push through 49.50. Is it filling those shares, that 49 level? If it rips down, we know that those shares at that 49, especially if it comes back below the 49, we know that seller is getting filled up here. There's a 49. Can we see 48s? Rip back in 47s. Nope. Holding over 49. So they definitely bought up that whole position. It was 150K out there. That is a lot of shares. And it's still not filled because it's only traded, what, 75 million shares? Oh, yeah, it could have been. That was 150K. So, yeah, definitely could have bought that up, especially with it being this cheap. I don't know why I was thinking 150 million. Okay, SIGA continuing its downward spiral. Now below all that it has seen on the day. We go back over to the daily chart. We see that this 575, this consolidation is getting hit down here. But now it's just not worth it to me because it's only up 13%. Even if it does bounce from here, it's just not something that I'm looking at. I want to see something that's holding its gains. This thing's giving back major gains. It'd be a different thing if it still was up 30%, up 40% in this dip. I'd be very interested to see a retracement. But nah, I'm good. SOSX, XPEV popping up here as well. Let's see what XPEV's looking like. Who do I want to get rid of? XPEV, what you got going on? Another EV stock. UFAB continues to get up there to the 50 cents. We may see 51s here soon. Let's see, where is another irregular level sitting out here? Not seeing any more of those 100,000 shares. I guess they're not as confident now they're playing around that 49 this much. So there's the bounce, SIGA off the 575s there. And I'm thinking 590s is going to be some real resistance for it right here now. And that's only a 10-cent move up. So is that worth it back up to that resistance? Not really. Not to me. Okay, so 49s holding there. Can it get knocked down under the 47s? We're seeing 48s. Can we see some 47s over here on the tape? $48. Can we see 147? Show us some real weakness. There's a 47.88 and a bunch of 47s came through on that break. So there must have been a stop loss. Somebody had stop losses at that 47 and they're all getting hit right there. All right. Let's see. BJDX really not with the range anymore. Has a bottom here of the 781s, maybe a 775 breakdown will get it going downwards. Only 5 million shares on the board traded. And SIGA continuing to test that 575 down. And I think I'm gonna leave SIGA alone. I was interested in it, but yeah, just not doing, and it's being outperformed by so much. Like MRSN is killing the game here. 18 million shares traded. I just don't see a point of trying to get in something when it's something like MSRN up here. I know day traders are out here. What is this thing? This thing moved from $1. That's a 30-cent move. Yeah, they're probably busy on that one.
Reliable Rudy. Baba over 100,
Baba.
smiley face.
Yeah, Baba is Reliable Rudy's baby. He is a continuous buyer on Baba. Has been a continuous buyer on Baba. So I let you do that thing. I've been filling up the tank on AT&T though. AT&T, I mean, I saw that thing come down and I was just like, how is this thing this low? How is AT&T $14? How? So I just bought some up and I'm like, yeah, I'll just pass it on to the kids.
Reliable Rudy. No sells until 150.
No sales until 150. Let's see, Baba. Yeah, top side is 150. Let's see. Go to the daily chart on Baba. Yeah, it's gonna need to break out this 20. And yeah, oh, you're looking at this gap fill back here. Let me zoom into that. So he's looking back here at this gap fill to take some profit. He wants to see that field. Definitely possible. Definitely possible with Baba. MRSN. XPIL. IFBD continuing to be up here above the I mean, it's just hard. The $quarter levels is hard to keep up with on this little cheap stock. I mean, 125 could be major resistance, could be new support. I don't really know. But I do know if those YouTubers or whoever was baiting this thing, it may go a lot higher as people get in late. So I don't know. Just depends. Let me look at it. Is any other news coming out on it? Nope. Reliable Rudy, are you streaming today? Streaming.
Reliable Rudy. Setting it up right now.
Nice. All right, yeah. So you guys can definitely go and check Reliable Rudy out. Once he gets his stream going, you can probably drop a link to his oh my gosh, his freaking featured page. I'm seeing FIXX back up here. It's trash though. There are my current scans right here. TUP down to 3. Red on the day right around the 200. Ford just chopping around as well. SQQ, PLTR, TQQ. Nothing looking killer, and the only low float that's up here competing on the day is TUP, and it's only at 1%. So it does not look like we're going to find a low float that is killing the game like we usually like it. We're not looking for that chop. We want to see that explosion with the right conditions, catalysts and all. What happened to BJ DX continuing to launch down off that 200 moving average? So this was the level that we saw, which was the 864s, which you look back and we saw as an obvious touch point back here. Couple of touches there, and that is where that resistance resided on today for BJDX. Siga. Yeah, just not worth it. Anyway, I'm about to go and do my breakfast thing. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're going to continue to trade, whatever you're trading, low floats, mid caps, large caps, definitely be careful. Reliable Rudy is setting up his stream as well, so he'll be streaming today. But yep, that is it for me today. I'm about to, I probably won't take any trades today. Usually most of my trades are based on what's happening in pre-market and then an initial rush out of pre-market into the open. But yeah, just not seeing anything that I really like. So gonna continue to just sit back and buy some AT&T. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We will see. But definitely been a very observant week. I got a green month, but I didn't do a lot of trading this month. Really only took what I saw and just stayed away from everything else. And so, you know, what I want to do is just be able to size into those trades that I do take because they're kind of rare. So just take them, be done with it, get the pay. I'm out. You know. Um, but yeah, that's it for me today. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Um, what else is there to say? End of July, coming into August. We're going into the latter part of the year. And my prediction that my thesis that I was playing off of with oil is during the latter part of the year, oil would make a resurgence, especially with the heating and all that coming back into place. So I was going ahead and getting into INDO. Me and Donnell, we in the Discord, we've been looking at several different oil plays coming into winter time. So we'll see how that goes. You know, just building a position. And as long as they stay down, I'll continue to add. But you know, that's it. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.